Hey everyone, welcome to The Breakdown. I'm Zirene, and today I have a special guest of Meteos from FlyQuest. And today we're going to look at the 100 Thieves versus FlyQuest game that happened that ended in a base race in the LCS. The reason we're looking at this is because, of course, you have to look at base races. Base races come down to the macro calls ahead of time, the micro in the moment, and also kind of the breaking decision of who made the call or who looked like they made the call and threw down the gauntlet first. So, as we get into this, it's an 8,000 gold lead, 30 minutes in the game for 100 Thieves, and they've really kind of been choking FlyQuest out of this game with a 1-3-1. But after these two picks that they get on Anda and Someday, we find FlyQuest finally coming up for a breath of air for the first time in the game. So what do they do with this? What should they be looking to do with this?
Right, so FlyQuest finds two picks, which is really good against the 1-3-1. And basically this entire game, looking at the two team comps, FlyQuest really wants to get into a situation where they can team fight, have their entire team grouped up, and just be able to fight that way. Meanwhile, 100 Thieves has just been pulling them apart, not letting them get into the formation. So what FlyQuest needs to do at this point is, during the death timers, where you can kind of expect 100 Thieves isn't going to go for a play while their members are dead, they need to just, push out their waves as far as they can, get your recalls off to get your last minute shopping done, make sure you have full resources, and then just group and go for a play.
So what they should be doing is they should be looking to kill this minion wave and this minion wave, as well as this one, because what'll happen next is these two minion waves will actually meet at an equalized point on the side lanes, right? So that you can actually shove out your side lanes. And so that's kind of what they get for getting those two kills, is FlyQuest get to get back out on the map. But what do you get as 100 Thieves? Like, what are you supposed to be doing in this moment as the team that actually lost two members?
So for 100 Thieves here, they did have two people get caught, which is unfortunate, but there's no Baron up, there's no Elder up. FlyQuest doesn't have any immediate threat that they can take. Like, you're not really gonna get a turret. So here 100 Thieves is probably just gonna try to wait for Someday and Anda to spawn, and then just try to get back into their 1-3-1 as fast as possible so they can continue pressuring and choking out FlyQuest.
And so it really is just kind of doing janitorial duty, pick up your red buffs, get your blue buffs, kind of reset the map, and then go to the side lanes again. But these side lanes are gonna be, where we pointed out before, kind of in the middle portion of it, right?
Right.
So when it comes to resetting, you kind of want everybody to reset at the same time, everybody to recall. FlyQuest are going to do that with 4 members here, and then Flame will be a little bit later. And then you're going to see that the actual Mundo spawns, then Cody's son backs, and he's going to be a little bit late to the recall in terms of just resetting as a team. But of course, 100 Thieves are the ones that want to fan out, right? And FlyQuest are the ones that want to have 5 men strong.
Right, 100 Thieves definitely is going to look to get back into this 1-3-1. As you see, Ryu heads straight for the wave. It looks like 100 Thieves spent a little bit of time having Mundo run through mid. Maybe they didn't feel safe because FlyQuest could have been grouped already. And then he goes into the side lane. And so this is basically one very small window for 100 Thieves, for FlyQuest to group with this one minion wave, just 6 tiny minions, and try to get as much as they can mid.
So this is kind of what they get for the 2 kills. They get a minion wave with 6 minions, they get pressure. 100 Thieves, though, they're kind of going, well, we got what we want, right? We are now in a 1-3-1 formation again. Ryze has tempo on us in the bottom side of the map, and it feels like what the objectives are right now is for 100 Thieves to just go, for FlyQuest to go straight mid, and for 100 Thieves to have their side laners threaten multiple structures, right?
Right. And so Ryze is pretty far along. He's only like a 10-second run from the inhibitor. Meanwhile, FlyQuest still has to go through a tier 2, a tier 3, and an inhibitor before they can really get some permanent damage done to 100 Thieves. So while Ryze is in position, due to Mundo dying last, he's still all the way up here, and he's got a minion wave he has to clear and then an entire lane that he has to go down. So looking at it that way, FlyQuest is actually faster on the play because they are mid with their whole team and they have a minion wave to work with.
So working with that minion wave is kind of the biggest thing here. A lot of people kind of just consider them like cannon fodder, right? And when you're trying to get them to assist in these structure takes Mundo a long time, delays him, Ryze is right on in there, has a wave to deal with in a second. But even with super minions, FlyQuest clear these out very quickly with Orianna, and they basically lost nothing. They've lost a single minion at this point, and then they're able to defend them, walk up, and then catch Afram out of position.
Right. So a big reason why keeping the mini wave is so important is because towers, are really, really tanky if you don't have a wave to break the backdoor protection. So it was really good by FlyQuest to keep their mini wave alive for this entire push. and just due to some better micro plays and judgment calls, they were actually able to get the win with this Hail Mary of a push.
It is a Hail Mary, absolutely, because that is a play where you're throwing down the gauntlet, you're saying, we need to end the game right now. But I love it from FlyQuest because if you think about it, they want to play 5-man strong in the mid lane. 100 Thieves want to play 1-3-1. There was no flashes on the GP or the Orianna. There's no way they're going to match a flash up on the Mundo who would be able to basically 1v1 any of those champions. And they had more TPs on 100 Thieves side. So 100 Thieves and FlyQuest, I think, kind of got the almost ideal macro situation for them coming into it. And I think that's why they both kind of opted for the base race when it happened.
Right, I think that both teams were fairly comfortable in the situation that they were in. And honestly, it was so close that it's hard to say that this was the wrong call from 100 Thieves because they were only 1 or 2 seconds away from killing the Nexus themselves.
Yeah, so let's actually look at that. This is the breakdown. We get to play with some hypotheticals here. We get to make sure, we get to control these players for a second here, right? So what would you do with Aphromoo right now before this? The mistake has already been made, right? He's already been caught out by the pillar. Where should Aphromoo, Cody Sun, and Onda be right now?
I think that at this point, as soon as Aphromoo is caught, their team probably realizes that as soon as the pillar hits him, he has no flash, he's dead. Their whole team's gonna follow up. And so here, I really think that 100 Thieves should just make the call to pull back. At this point, you just say, okay, you win, we'll recall and defend our base. And then maybe FlyQuest is able to get a really good Baron fight, but at least they don't win the entire game. And so I think it's a very risky call to continue going as soon as Alistar was caught. That's actually when 100 Thieves was the one who initiated this base race by having Mundo TP bot. Lucian backed up to also TP bot, and they initiated the base race where FlyQuest was mostly just trying to pull the solo lanes back, but 100 Thieves didn't want to come defend, so
you would have pretty much everybody back here defending, giving up these objectives like we said earlier, and not trying to even contest this at all, because Aphromoo got caught, and that's kind of the spark for the fire that ended up being the base race.
Right, as soon as you realize the inhibitor's going down, there's no reason to stand away from your Nexus turrets. All they can do is try to rush the Nexus, which is very hard to do on a 3-minion wave. The next wave's, a good 15 seconds out.
It's so far away. You see it's in the middle of the entire map right now. So to have that entire distance to travel before you'd have that to reinforce. So is there potential for something like Onda to come in here he even has Flash Q to ulti himself, and then to even clear out this minion wave, he has Smite, he has auto attacks, basic attacks, and clear it out and make it so they have no minions here to take the backdoor bonus off of the turrets. Would sacrifice his life, but if they have committed to the base race at this point, then 100 Thieves would be able to maybe win it.
Right, if they all just decided that, hey, we're gonna sacrifice ourselves to clear this wave because, without a wave, you can't really push. I think that could have worked as well.
So, we're playing with hypotheticals, more hypotheticals here. We saw what happened before where Ryu ends up trying to kill the base. It's almost dead. It's very, very close. But I want you to kind of play a little game with me here, okay?
Okay.
Spot the lethal on this one. How does Ryu end the game for his team? How does 100 Thieves win this game from this position?
From this position, I think that once Alistar's caught, you just have to pull back. You have to say, okay, they called our bluff. They're not coming back. They can end the game before us. We just got to pull back. And, they're still up 10k gold. They can hold 4v5 under their Nexus and then wait for Alistar to spawn and then either get back into 1-3-1 or take a fight at that point.
So there's a pretty high chance that if they just play things out standard, they still have a really good chance of winning it. 3 Mountain Drakes. There's no reason to kind of rush the tempo of the game. Right? I would beg to differ personally. I said this to you earlier, where if I was in your position, if I was in the position in the game, I would 100% go with your call. It's the safer call. It's the one that I think has the least variance to it. But when I looked at this play again, I noticed that what Ryu could actually do is Ryu could actually go for a Realm Warp on these minions, take himself and the minions to either here or the other side, because these 2 turrets, remember, they're very low from before, and they have about 1 Nexus turret's worth of HP between the 2 of them. You take the minions there, you use the TPs from Mundo and Lucian, and then you're able to end the game. And another big thing is that you have the middle inhibitor already dead. You don't have to waste any time on this inhibitor at all, and he's been hitting it for about 5 seconds by the time we see him here. So if he had the presence of mind to use the ultimate and kind of initiate a harder base race earlier, then 100 Thieves would have had way more tempo.
All right, that's actually a good point. I didn't think about the Rise ult. It's not that common to see it, but it is really effective. You can bring minions with Rise, so I do like that play. That's not something I saw, but...
Well, I mean, as a spectator, it's the only time I saw it. I didn't see it in the moment either.
Yeah, I think 100 Thieves actually could have won if they did that.
Yeah, it's one of those plays where in the moment there's so much going on. You don't get to rehearse base races. It's so hard to practice. Nobody throws down that gauntlet. It's all macro play, kind of playing around each other. And this is something that when it happens, you don't really know how you're going to react to it until it actually happens.
Yeah, definitely a hard situation to be in when we're able to, watch the replay over and over. It's pretty easy to see these things, but yeah, it just didn't work out for 100 Thieves here.
Yeah, and ultimately, I think it was a good call from FlyQuest to actually make that push mid and use that tempo. I also think it was a good call from 100 Thieves. There's a lot of criticism towards them saying, hey, they should never have actually gone for that type of play. They had 3 Mountain Drakes. Mountain Drakes don't work on inhibitors or the Nexus. So if it did, something like that, it's not saying it's Riot's fault or anything like that, but if it did, it would have been a win.
Might be Riot's fault.
It might be. But at the same time, we're saying these were actually good macro calls from both teams, but it's just the execution, the tiny micro things in those moments, getting caught out a little bit on the defense, or even just not being aggressive enough on the side of 100 Thieves is kind of what made them lose this base race. So once again, thank you so much, Meteos, for joining me here on the breakdown. Everyone online, if you're watching, leave your comments down below. This is a new format for the breakdown. Tell us what you thought about it. And until next time, thanks for watching.